So yesterday was Sunday, September 5th, and I drove from Phoenix to the western terminus of the Uinta Highline Trail in northern Utah. It was an easy drive. It was an all-day drive. Stopped at Horseshoe Bend, south of Page, and at the Glen Canyon Dam. And then I had a last meal of sorts in Provo, or maybe it was Springerville, just south of Provo, before heading up to the mountains. The Hayden Pass is, I don't know, maybe 50 or so miles east of Park City in the Uinta Wilderness area. Stayed overnight there, just slept in my 4Runner. No problem sleeping. It did get a little cold, which is an issue I'll come back to. And then this morning at 8 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, I was picked up on my shuttle, which was two guys, one guy and his trainee, in a little hybrid vehicle. And they drove me. It was about 2 hours and 50 minutes up into Wyoming, and then east, and then south back then into Utah to the eastern terminus of the Highline Trail, which is at McKee Draw. The Highline Trail is, I guess, the classic Uinta Highline Trail is about 103, 104 miles. It's an east to west, point to point trail. I believe, you have to check me on this, that both terminuses are about at 10,000 feet. And pretty much it's a unique trail because most of the time you're between 10,000 and 13,000 feet in elevation. Sort of a high alpine, above the tree line sort of hike. Now today, started this morning at about 11 o'clock at the McKee Draw. Been hiking for about an hour, a little over an hour. I'm more than 3 miles into it. The first 25 miles of the trail is supposed to be the easy part. But I'll say the first part was pretty tough. It was like climbing Mount Humphreys, sort of flattened out now in a nice meadow. But the goal for today is to get as far as I can. Sort of lost the trail here. Get most of that 25 miles done away with. There's a little water at the first 25 miles, so you've got to carry enough water. Then you're supposed to hit lakes and streams and whatnot, and water supposedly is omnipresent from that point on, so, which is cold comfort to someone from the desert where having enough water is a real big deal. So we'll see how that goes. I was cold last night in the car, and boy, that's really pretty. And I used my Nemo 0 degree rated sleeping bag as a blanket and made it okay, which has worried me about this hike. I'm supposed to only get down near freezing at night, but it can snow. My driver even told me I expect I could see a pop-up snowstorm. I guess the east-west nature of this mountain ridge, I think it's the only east-west mountain range in perhaps all of North America, lines up with the jet stream, and that can put those together, and it can make for some interesting weather patterns and sudden storms and lightning and snow, things like that, even in early September. But I'm going to go for a sleep system with my 20 degree Enigma quilt, which it's rated to 20 degrees. That doesn't mean you will be comfortable down to 20 degrees. And I've got a sleeping pad under that and another little foam pad I'm going to put under my sleeping pad. And the sleeping pad is a very high R value, so I think I'll be okay. But that could be a hike ender if that proves to be too cold for me. So we'll see how it goes. I'm also, my driver told me that I should expect a full week hike. I don't have food for that, so that's another. I'm counting on a 5-day hike. One of the interesting things after that first 25 miles is over and you're into the really lost the trail now, into the higher elevations and the mountain passes. You pass through at least 8 pretty significant, pretty steep mountain passes. The highest being Anderson Pass, which I think gets you above 13,000 feet in elevation. Then you can go off trail on a side trail to the top of Kings Peak, which is the highest mountain in Utah at 13,528 feet, I think. So that's a 2-hour, I've been told to expect it's like a scramble, and you're going to want to drop your pack. Plus you have to strategically time it given the weather variability so that you're camped below Anderson Pass, get up early, hike up the pass, then go on the side trail and get to the top of Kings Peak before the afternoon. So we'll see if any of that happens. But it's really warm right now, and pack is heavy, laden with food, water, and clothing, and but it seems like otherwise a great day. We'll see how it goes.